So that's what we say is once you become an alcoholic or a drug addict, you cross this line. You cross this line where there's no returning back. There's no returning back to a non-alcoholic or a non-drug addict. Even if you're no longer using drugs or alcohol, you still have altered. The thing is that you have either you were born this way, or you have altered your DNA through the substance abuse to now whenever you drink or use, your body demands you to use and drink more.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Podcast with me. I'm your host Moon and you're watching Moonlight Guidance. Namaste. This part is in continuation with my earlier video of interviewing Mikel Vaughn on the glaring issue of drug addiction. He is a counselor and substance use disorder specialist based in California, USA, targeting substance abuse amongst men and women. Winning awards is just a testimony of his passion and commitment towards this cause. You can click here the link to watch previous videos and interviews. It's an interesting and informative series. Viewers, you may like and share this video so that it reaches to the people who are seeking this information. And if you are a new viewer here, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications. You can also help us grow through the thanks button placed below this video. Friends, today let's talk about the employment scenario for drug or alcohol de-addicts. So, Mikel, you are dealing daily with these patients. You are with them in their full de-addiction process. We talk of employment to drug users and alcoholics post their de-addiction or sobriety. Practically, what do you see? Are these patients able to take up any job and earn their living? Are they able to create and stick to any higher purpose in life? If yes, what is the percentage of such cases?
A lot of clients get employment and do great in their jobs. They usually do really good in their jobs from what I've seen. For sure. The success percentage, it varies a lot depending on what substances they are addicted to. And not really so much. It doesn't really so much depend on the substance that they're addicted to. From last I checked, only 2% of people who have been addicted to meth, only 2% get sober and stay sober for the rest of their life. 2%. And even alcoholics, I think the number might be a little bit higher. I think it might be like 5%. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. It might be a little higher or maybe even a little less. I think it's at least 5% of alcoholics can get sober and stay sober for the rest of their life. But yeah, the recovery rate all around is very low. Addiction it's a brutal disease. Most clients don't stay sober. They'll complete the program. They'll complete the program and they'll do good in the program and they'll get a job and they'll go to work, but a few months later they're either back in the program or they're homeless or they're back in jail. You know, that's probably at least 60% of the clients within a year or so, more or less. Maybe about 2 out of 10 clients probably stay sober after they leave treatment. 2 out of 10 clients probably stay sober for a year or two, at least. Probably one client out of 10 or 15 stays sober for 5 years. You know, and then you have the clients who are dual diagnosed, who are addicted to drugs and or alcohol and also have severe mental health problems. And that's a whole nother story. Those guys and girls are pretty sad to work with, but it's also amazing to work with them and to see them get the help that they need and deserve. I think they are able to have a higher purpose. It's the sticking to it that seems to be a problem. From my understanding and standpoint is alcoholism and drug addiction isn't only prevalent while you're using drugs and drinking alcohol. Like, the disease carries on after you sober up, in the sense of telling you, the thoughts in the mind telling you to go back to using drugs and alcohol, and it lies to you, and it tells you that, you can have one beer. You're a little bit stressed out, you can have one beer. And then the next thing you know, they're smoking crack cocaine behind a dumpster because they're a drug addict and an alcoholic. That's one thing that we say in recovery is, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Or once an addict, always an addict. And what we mean by that is that we can't drink or use drugs like somebody who's not an alcoholic or an addict. Like, we can't just have one beer. We can't just, smoke crack cocaine once. Something happens to us that doesn't happen to people that doesn't happen to. We call it the phenomenon of craving develops. The phenomenon of craving develops, and we need more. And that doesn't happen to a normal person who's not an alcoholic or a drug addict. And the thing is that never changes. I know people who were sober for 30 years. They were an alcoholic. They were sober for 30 years. Decided to celebrate and drink a beer one night. And then they drank all day, every day for 4 years straight after that and died. So that's what we say is once you become an alcoholic or a drug addict, you cross this line. You cross this line where there's no returning back. There's no returning back to a non-alcoholic or a non-drug addict. Even if you're no longer using drugs or alcohol, you still have altered. The thing is that you have either you were born this way, or you have altered your DNA through the substance abuse to now, whenever you drink or use, your body demands you to use and drink more. So yeah, they're able to take up a job and earn a living. It just depends on whether or not they stick to it or whether they return to addiction. And unfortunately, they usually return to addiction. The percentage is higher that people do than don't.
Thanks, Michael, so much for throwing light in this direction. I'm sure our viewers will be benefited with the crucial information that you have provided.
Thank you so much, Moon, for having me. It's always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Friends, with this, we come to the end of this video. Please keep the notification bell on to get future alerts from our channel. Michael's social media handles are mentioned in the description box below. You can comment down with any of your query or reach out to any of us in relation to this topic. Please encourage us by subscribing, liking and sharing this video. And thank you very much for your lovely donations. Namaste.